Alright guys, real quick I'm going to do a tip video for you guys, and basically the tip video is about how to spool fishing line, and we all know how to spool fishing line, but I'm going to give you guys a tip that a lot of people don't know, and this is a very, very important tip that you guys got to learn when you're spooling up either braid monofilament or fluorocarbon. So, I got a 1,000 yard spool of Seaguar. This is all I use at Seaguar and VizX. This is 15 pound, and basically the tip is, when you guys are throwing your reels with faster gear ratios, this is a 741 crowd, okay? And basically the tip is to always spool up your line to the perfect amount, because if you don't, your gear ratio is actually not going to be the same. So even though this is a 741 gear ratio, majority of the time when you don't spool up your line all the way, like over 100 yards, because this is a 140 yard spool, and if you don't spool it up over 110 yards, your gear ratio is going to be a lot more slower. So basically it's a 7.4, but really it's probably going to be a 6.2, because it's going to be a lot more slower for your ratio. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick tip and show you guys how much line you need in these reels. So 15 pound fluorocarbon, the diameter on this is 0.6 millimeters, and basically diameter is how thick the line is. So the reason why that's key is because your 15 pound fluorocarbon could be a 10 millimeter when mine is a 6, and roughly I'm getting 125 yards, 130 yards on this fluorocarbon. And yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys real quick basically what I mean by it. It sounds like a simple tip that everybody should know, but actually a lot of guys don't know this tip, and I was new to finding it out about, I guess, 3 or 4 months ago. So I was fishing a spinnerbait with 17 pound fluorocarbon. It does have a thicker diameter when it comes to this. So I had, I guess, 100 yards of fluorocarbon in my reel, when realistically I needed like 130. So I thought it was fine, but I realized that my gear ratios, it just didn't feel the same. It just felt really sluggish, and it just felt really slow. So I go back home and I was just trying to see what's going on with my reel, and I put a lot more line in my reel, like an extra 20 yards, and my gear ratio felt a lot more faster. So if you guys are having a problem with that, thinking your reel needs to be cleaned out, or you guys just need gear oil even though it's a brand new reel or an old reel, it's got to be your line. So I'm going to show you guys real quick a few tips about spooling a fishing line, and I'm just going to do a quick video for GFC and tell you guys this tip. So let's get into it. Real quick, I want to show you guys a really important tip when it comes to spooling up these bait casters. It's a different story with a spinning reel, but right here you see I have the spool in my box to keep it straight. And I don't know if you guys can see that good, but the line is pointed upwards instead of downwards. So if it was pointed the opposite way, or say it's like this, your line is going to be a lot more, it's going to have a lot more coils. And what that means is you're not going to have the best line memory, and you're not going to have the best strength, and your gear ratio is going to be a lot more slower. So you always got to make sure your line is always pointed up and it's coming off the spool straight. So it's just something I wanted to point out real quick, and just show you guys what you got to do when you're spooling up your bait casters. The reason why I'm doing this video is because a lot of guys got into bass fishing, and ever since the Gypsy Fishing channel Instagram page, and ever since I won the tournament, they've basically been DMing me on Instagram saying, I want to get into bass fishing, tell me what rod to use, reel, line, lures this time of year, and what not to use this time of year. So basically I'm just going to do a lot of tip videos for this week, and basically that's all you guys are going to get is tip videos. So just wanted to get that out of the way while I'm doing these videos a lot more than fishing. I am going to have a tournament come out next week. Gypsy Fishing channel is hosting another tournament for $1,000. Winner gets $1,000, and I'm thinking there's going to be, he told me there's going to be 50 guys in the tournament. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, it's a $50 entry fee, and 50 guys are going to be in the tournament. So yeah, if you guys want to get into that tournament, DM Gypsy Fishing channel, or you could even DM me on Instagram at Mars Fishing, and I'll give you guys like the rules and how much you got to send Alex to get that tournament. This is the rod right here. It's a 7-foot extra fast Arc Invoker Pro. Every single rod that I have now is Arc. The main reason why is because I'm not sponsored by them at all. It's just the main reason why is because they're good rods, and to find a good rod now, you're gonna have to spend a minimum of $300 and $400. But this rod right here, it's $150. This is one of the highest end rods that they have, but they even have rods that are $50, which is really, really good rods for 50 bucks. But this is a 7-foot medium heavy, extra fast. And basically what extra fast tip means is it has a lot more tip than backbone. So it is a medium heavy, but realistically it's more like a mag medium. So it's not a true medium heavy. A true medium heavy is a medium heavy fast. So basically what I throw on this is just my light wire stuff. Like, I throw light wire spinner baits, like a 3/8 ounce spinner bait. This is one of my sponsors. This is a Tree Shaker Tackle spinner bait. If you guys want to check them out, I'll leave a link down below. And basically everything in the video, I'm just going to leave a link in the description box for you guys to check out. But yeah, like 3/8 ounce spinner baits. Even though this is a light rod, when I'm fishing Santee and stuff, like I'm bringing this rod for Santee next week because I have a tournament, like I said, with Alex. Now that's where I'm gonna go fishing at. I'm gonna go to Santee, and what I throw is a Zoom speed worm, like a 4/0 or a 5/0, or actually a 4/0 or a 3/0 since they're lighter wire hooks. Gamakatsu EWG on that worm, and I'll even throw a 1/8 ounce or a 3/16 ounce bullet weight. So throw that on 15 to 17 pound line. I'm throwing 15. It's a little bit more lighter line, and you can get a lot more accurate and longer cast with 15. I don't throw jigs and frogs on this rod. A frog, do not throw on this rod. The reason why is because, like I said, you don't have a lot of backbone, and with a frog, you want a lot of backbone to drive the hooks from a frog to a fish's mouth because they have really thick wire hooks. Same thing with a jig. You could probably throw a jig on this rod, maybe. I did it before. I really would not throw a jig on this rod. The reason why is because, again, don't have a lot of backbone, and those are thick wire hooks that you really need to drive in the fish's mouth, and that's why I throw a 7.2 medium heavy fast action. So I'm gonna do a video on my rods here later on today. I'm gonna put this line on and just basically show you guys how to put it on. I'm putting on this line right here. I put it on the first guide of the rod, that way you go on straighter and even. And I put it on, this is what you always gotta do for a baitcaster, on the baitcaster like body. I'll show you guys real quick. The baitcaster body, you have that eye right here that you put the line on. So the line goes through there every time you're trying to spool line. And another thing about the Shimano reels is, you see the bar, you have to go over that bar, because if you go under it, you're not gonna get a long cast because it's all tucked in. So you want it to go over that bar. Basically what I do is, some reels have it, some reels don't. But in my reel on the Corrado K, there is holes in the spool where your line goes in at. So I get my line, I make sure everything is straight on my rod, and I put the line through the holes and basically tie 3 overhand knots. I just got done tying the knots in my reel. So what you always do when spooling your reel, use scissors. Do not use a knife, because you could miss the knife, scratch your spool, and basically that chips the metal in your spool to frayed your line. So that'll make you break off a lot. So just always get a scissors and just cut the tag in. Like I said, always keep the line upward and stand up and reel the line on. That way it comes on straighter. You can see how much line I put on this reel. It's about 110 yards, 115 yards. So yeah, I kind of got the idea of how much line you need in your reel. All right, now you're done spooling your reel. You guys got the idea how much line I have in my reel. I'm gonna show you guys the #1 knot that you need to go fishing. This is the knot I throw no matter what I'm throwing and when I'm throwing it. So this knot right here is called a Palomar knot. So basically what I do is I pull out about 7 inches, I guess 6 or 7 inches of fishing line. Basically what I do is I grab my main line and I go back in the way I came out. That way it makes a loop. Once you make that loop, you're gonna make it like a overhand circle, like an overhand knot. You're gonna pinch it all together, put it underneath that loop, like you're making an overhand knot, like I said. Pull it not all the way down, but pull it enough down. Then what you're gonna do with your loop that you created, you're gonna go through the whole entire bait. And when you're up here at the top, you wet it. Once you wet it, that way you don't get any burns in your knot. That way it can break off a lot more easier. You just pull everything together. It's a quick, simple, easy knot. Again, don't just pull your main line or your tag line. You gotta pull both ends of your fishing line, your main and your tag end. Make sure it's tight, pull it. Then all you gotta do now is just cut your tag in. So you pull, make sure everything is straight. If you guys see that good, but your tag in, make sure it's not too long but not too short. That way your line don't undo. Just pull everything, make sure everything's straight, and that's how you spool up a rod and reel, and that's how you tie a perfect all around fishing knot. So again, it's Palomar knot, simple, strong, easy knot, and it'll never fail you as long as you tie it right. Make it loosed up. perfect for a spinnerbait. And what I always do to my spinnerbait is put it on a trailer hook. That way you get a lot more better hookups and don't miss a lot of fish. So then, spooling up my rod for Santee. And the next video I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a walkthrough of all my setups and just tell you guys what I throw on them and stuff. That's what somebody wanted me to do on Instagram. So if you guys like this video, you guys want more videos like this, leave a comment what you guys want next for a tip video or just a fishing video, and I'll do it. So if you guys like this video, leave a like, and see you guys in the next one.